Hey Tamara, it's Steve here in Cape Town, South Africa, and I've got something really cool to talk to you about. We're going to be looking at math and something old-fashioned, and I'm going to take the idea of old-fashioned and go way back, millions of years ago. If I had to ask you, how do we know that dinosaurs existed? Many of you will say, we find the bones or the fossils. And of course, when you take the bones and you put them together, you can build this giant skeleton. It's kind of like a mathematical puzzle. And we can tell how large a creature is, but we certainly don't know what it looked like because we needed skin samples and we didn't even know what color the skin was. Yes, when some of the dinosaurs fell into the mud, the skin made an imprint. And when it all got hard and over the many years when they managed to find those fossils, they could find what the texture of the skin looked like. But we certainly still don't know today what color most of the dinosaurs were. Now, if I had to ask you, do you know, was there a dinosaur version of a shark that existed? Most of you will say, oh yes, we've heard about the megalodon. This creature lived below the ocean. It was at the top of its food chain. Now, if this creature died and went all the way down to the bottom of the ocean, we certainly wouldn't find skeletons, and that's because sharks don't have bones. They have cartilage, which is like that soft bendy stuff you find in your ear. So if they died and went to the bottom of the ocean and we don't find bones, how do we know that they existed? And it turns out, the one piece of evidence we have, I happen to have one with me, are the teeth. This is the tooth of a megalodon. You can see, compared to the size of my hand, it is rather large. I'll bring it up close so you can have a look at that. And this particular creature, as I said, was at the top of its food chain. It ate everything. Nothing ate it. And if I had to ask you, just from one tooth, how do we work out the size of this creature? Well, it just so happens we do a little bit of mathematics. A great white tooth is very similar to a megalodon tooth. And a great white tooth this size belongs to a great white that is 15 feet. And since this tooth is 6 times the size, we're assuming that this creature was 6 times the size of a great white. And 6 times 15 gives you 90 feet. That is a rather large beast. Of course, today we don't find them in our oceans anymore. They've been extinct for millions of years. Do you know why? I'm going to let you think about that. Back to you, Tamara.